Ready to move on to the Rams?
Oh, you know it.
Can Matthew Stafford take the Rams to the Super Bowl, Dobbs?
Again, it's kind of like we say about the Rams every year at this point, ever since that they proved to us that you just can't doubt McVay and Stafford. That's all there is to it, Hunter. You can't doubt McVay and Stafford. We played this game before and they showed us how it goes. You know me. I always like to say in terms of likeliness, no, I don't really think there's a very big chance that the Rams we see even back in the NFC Championship game this year. But it is possible, right? Especially when we talk about the fact that the O line, right, Rob Havenstein made a pretty big jump last year. Now he's had a right very sound, good career his whole career, but pretty big jump last year. Kevin Dotson had a humongous jump, became one of the top three guards in the whole league. Steve Avila moved over from guard to center, where he played all right last year as a rookie guard, but I think at center we could see a big jump there. And then we're gonna have Jonah Jackson, who also is like the O line version of Dennis Gardeck in terms of being hot and cold. One game he's on fire, one game it's really bad. But right, if you get a good Jonah Jackson, you're getting really good Jonah Jackson. And then left tackle situation still, it's probably the most shaky with Ulrich Jackson. It'll be interesting to see. But it's also you're not getting you're getting a middle tier starter. So the O line is still in place. The receiving core, you still got Coop, you got Puka, Demarcus Robinson, Super Bowl champion. The running back room looks really good. The defense has a lot of just really good young ascending guys on it. But the defense is where it scares me, Hunter, because I feel like as far as making a Super Bowl push, there are so many guys that are so young that would have to be playing lights out. It's not the offense at all that scares me. It's the defense when it comes to being a championship football team again.
I mean, I understand that and I get it, but with the additions of Cam Curl, they draft Cameron Kitchen, they take in Tre'Davious White, they add Jared Verse, they add Braden Fisk. Like, they can never replace Aaron Donald. No player will ever replace him. But with the additions that they made on defense, I think the Rams are. I think everyone knows what the Rams can do, but I don't think enough people are really considering them as Super Bowl contenders. And when you have a defense that's kind of built like they're built, and McVay and Stafford on the other side of the ball with a healthy Cup and fingers crossed healthy Puka Nakua, and you have Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, I don't know how you look at this team and say, "Oh yeah, they can't win a Super Bowl." Like this is exactly the type of team ready to win a Super Bowl. And I think Jared Verse is one of the more polished players to come out of the draft, where I think that the transition to the NFL, yeah, there's going to be one, but I don't think it's going to be this steep uphill climb that a lot of these guys face. I think he's going to be able to come into this defense and contribute right away.
No, and you know what? To that point, Hunter, the reality is this too. Look, you have Bobby Brown, 6'4", 324, just clogging the middle. And outside of on his shoulders, we got four very productive young defenders, right? Byron Young, Kobe Turner. We saw Kobe Turner's already turning into one of the best defenders in the NFL in his first year. He could turn into a premier all pro type of player this year. And then on the other shoulder, we got Braden Fisk and Jared Verse, FSU buddies, who right the way that they will play off of each other, the finesse combining with the power, you know, it's going to be a scary unit down there, Hunter. And look, the weakest link on this defense as of right now is Christian Roseboom. But look, he showed you in 2022 he can play good ball, right? Like last year was a really bad year from him, and it just wasn't a good year all in all tape wise. But he could bounce back, and if he bounces back, there's really not one spot on this defense you could sit there and say is a bad spot. It's just that they don't have like the DB room is the definition of like it's mid, not in the sense of like, oh, they're bad, but just like they're middle line, like they're a midline DB group. But when you combine a midline DB group with one of the best D line groups, it doesn't always matter. So if this D line can be what we think that it can be, all of a sudden that DB depth doesn't matter as much. To your point, we would be fools to count them out of being Super Bowl contenders. They already showed us once.
Now, separate from that, do you believe that the Rams could possibly win the NFC West, or do you think this is the 49ers division?
I think that's the most fun question because this is where the Niners fans start freaking out in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. It's funny because, for whatever reason, if you say that the Niners aren't locks to win it this year, everybody looks at you like you're crazy. You're a villain. But objectively,
Villain.
Ricky Pearsall's already dealing with a bunch of injuries. Christian McCaffrey's already dealing with an injury.
Hold on.
And
Let's save this for the 49ers talk.
okay, you're right. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Look, the reality is we would be crazy to say that the Rams don't stand a chance to take that division. Rams
think
fans,
they stand a
is
pretty
it
good
Rams house
chance.
season again? Is it Rams house season again?
Welcome
Rams
to
fan?
the
I don't know.
Ramily. Welcome to the Ramily.
Could it be? It could be Hunter. You never know.